Solve problem on resource leveling to find out the optimal duration to complete the project.
In question, this table is given. From this table, we can say that for the activity 1 to 2, 7 days are required and the required resources are 2 machines, 20 men. In the same way, activity 1 to 3, 2 to 3 and so on. These activities are given. Available resources are also mentioned, 4 machines and 40 men. Now what is the first step? So first step is to find out the critical path. So for that we will first draw the network diagram. Now if we observe from the starting node 1, there are 2 activities. So I will first take here the node 1 for 2 activities, that is 1 to 2. What is the duration? 7 days. Now next will be 1 to 3. What is the duration? That is equal to 7 days. Now next will be 2 to 3. So I will join these nodes 2 to 3. Now what is the duration? 8 days. Now next is 2 to 4. So we have to show here the node 4. And for this 2 to 4 duration is 6 days. Then 3 to 6. So we have to show here the node 6. Then 4 to 5. So for this 4 to 5 there are 3 days, and then 5 to 6 there are 5 days. So this is the completion of the network. Now we will find out what is the earliest start time. For that we have to choose the highest value and the latest finish time. That is, we have to choose the lowest value. Now for the calculation of earliest start time, we have to move from this starting node towards the end node. And for the calculation of latest finish, we have to move from this end node towards the starting node. Now first we have to calculate the earliest start time, and at node 1 ES is equal to 0 and LF should equal to 0. So when we calculate in the backward side and when this LF is equal to 0, then whatever the calculations are done, that is correct. Now we will first calculate ES. Now we have to first move from this node 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is in the sequence. So what is this value of ES here? 0 plus 7, that is 7. Now at node 3, what is the value of ES? Now there are 2 options because 2 arrows are incoming. So 7 plus 8. So first option, that is 15, and 0 plus 7, that is 7. But we have to choose the highest value, so I will choose here as a 15. Then at node 4, what is the value of ES? So only 1 arrow is incoming, so 7 plus 6, that is 13. Then at node 5, what is the value of ES? That is 13 plus 3, 16. At node 6, what is the value of ES? There are 2 options, 16 plus 5, that is 21, or 15 plus, so here duration we have to mention for 3 to 6, that is 9. So for this duration, 15 plus 9, 15 plus 9, that is equal to 24. So we have to choose the highest value, that is 24. Now at the end node, value of ES and LF that are equal. So we will take here LF, that is also equal to 24. Now we will move to the backward side. So first 5, node 5. So what is the value of LF? 24 minus 5, that is 19. Then here at node 4, LF, that is equal to 19 minus 3, that is 16. Then at node 3, LF, 24 minus 9, that is 15. Now if we observe at node 2, there are 2 arrows starting from this node 2. So here is 16 minus 6, that is 10. 15 minus 8, that is 7. So we have to choose the lowest value. So suppose any 2 options are available, then I will choose this 7. Now at node 1 also there are two options because two arrows are starting. 7 minus 7, 0, and 15 minus 7, that is 8. So in between this we have to choose the lowest value, that is 0. So LF is equal to 0. So if we observe our cross check, that is LF is equal to 0. Now we will calculate the slack. So slack means positive difference in between this ES and LF. So at node 1 S is 0, at node 2 S is 0, at node 3 S is 0, at node 4 S is 3, at node 5 S is 3, at node 6 S is 0. Now how to find out the critical path? So we have to join the nodes having slack is equal to 0. So we have to join this node 1, node 2, node 3 and node 6. This 4 and 5 is having the slack greater than 0. So I will join with the help of red marker. Now we will write what is the critical path. So critical path, how to write? We have to write this node numbers. So critical path, node 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. And what is the duration for this critical path? So we have to add all these numbers. 7 plus 8 plus 9, that is 15 plus 9, that is equal to 24. Now this duration is given in days, so we can say that 24 days. In the question, constraints are given for the available resources. So during the operation of the resource scheduling, we can extend the project duration. And this type of resource scheduling is known as resource leveling. Now we have calculated what is the critical path duration, and that is equal to 24 days. So we will take this duration is equal to 24 days and we will draw here the squared network diagram. On the horizontal line we have to plot this duration. So we will take any particular scale, that is we can take here 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter as per the space available, and we will plot here 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 24. Now if we observe this network diagram, we have to first choose the critical path. So critical path is from node 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 6. And we will plot here this critical path on this horizontal line, or we can say along the horizontal line passing through the center. So we will first select the center point for this vertical line. So here is the center point. Now we will take here this node 1. So node 1 we have to take this, add this 0. So I will select here the node 1. Now the activity on the critical path is 1 to 2. So for this 1 to 2, 7 days are required. So here is the number 7. So if I select here the point, then here is the point, and I will draw here, I will take here the node 2. Now we will join this 1 to 2. And we have to plot the resources for this activity. So for 1 to 2, 2 machines and 20 men. So we will plot here 2 in the bracket 20. Now next is 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 it requires duration is 8 days. So previous 7 days plus 8 days, that is equal to total 15 days. So I will plot here for this 15. The next node is node 3. So we will show here the arrow. Now for this activity 2 to 3, so I will mark here 1 to 2 is getting completed, 2 to 3 is also getting completed, and 3:30. So we will plot here 3 in the bracket 30. Now next is 3 to 6. So for 3 to 6, 9 days are required. So previous 15 plus 9, that is 24. So on this 24 with this vertical scale I will plot here the node 6. And for this 3 to 6 we have to plot the available resources. So the required resources. So for this 3 to 6, 2 and 20. So we will plot in this way. Now we have to plot the remaining paths. So which are the remaining paths? So here is 3 to 6. So remaining paths are 1 to 3, 2 to 4, 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. So now for 1 to 3, that is this path is started from this node 1. So we have to plot the remaining path in this upward direction and in this lower direction, but in the form of square, and that's why this network is known as square network. Now for 1 to 3, 7 days are required. So we have to start from node 1 and we have to end here at node 3. But for this activity only 7 days are required. So if we start from 0 and here is the 7. So I will mark here one point. Now up to this point only we have to continue this activity. And after that there is this activity is completed at the 7th day. Now after that we have to show here the dotted line. So I will show the dotted line in the form of with the help of the red marker. Now this 1 to 3 is getting completed. Now next one 2 to 4. So here 2 to 4 is there, but node number 4 is not drawn. So for this 2 to 4, 6 days are required. So here this activity number 2 end at 7th day. So 2 plus 6, that is 13. So here is the 13. So I will take here the node number 4. So this is during the non-critical path. So I can draw here this node 4 and I will show this activity. So here is 2 to 4. Now next one, so this 2 to 4 is also getting completed. Now 4 to 5, it requires 3 days. So here on this 13th day, that is 7 plus 6, that is on this 13th day, this 4th activity is completed. Now after that 3 days, that is on the day of 16th. So I will show here this node number 5. So here is the node number 5. And for this activity 3 days are required. Now we will plot here the resources. So for 2 to 4 it is 4 and 13. And now 4 and 5 it is 2 and 20. Now last one 5 to 6. So 5 to 6 only 2 days, so the 5 days are required. So after this 16 we have to add the 5 days. So 16 plus 5. That is here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is at the 21 days. So I will mark here for this 21 days. So this activity, if I start from the 16th day, then it will complete at the 21st day. And then we have to reach this node number 6. So we have to show the dotted lines. Now we will show the resources, that is 2 and 20. For the completion of the project, we have to consider the limited resources. 4 machines and 40 men are required or given or available for the completion of the project. So we have to modify this diagram. Now if we observe the activity 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 6 is on the critical path. So we have to draw these activities on the center line only. Now we have to first consider this activity 1 to 2 and 1 to 3. So I will show here this node 1 that is on the center line for this time 0. Now for this 1 to 2, because this is the critical path activity, so we have to consider this activity first. So for this 2 machines and 20 men are required and the duration is 7 days. So on the 7 days I will draw here the node 2 and I will complete this activity. So here 2 in bracket 20. Now here 1 to 3 activity is also there, and for this activity 2 machines and 20 men are required. Now our availability is 4 machines and 40 men. So here if we engage these 2 machines and 20 men for this 1 to 2, then for this 1 to 3 we can engage these remaining 2 machines and 20 men. And what is this time period? So time period is 7 days. That is, the time period is same for this activity 1 to 2 also and for 1 to 3 also. So for this 7 days I will mark here one point, and because this 1 to 3 is non-critical, we will draw here in this upward side. So here is 1 to 3, but here we have not drawn the node 3, so I will just show this line. So after that we have to show the dotted line. Now for this activity 2 to 3, so this 2 to 3 activity is on the critical path, so we have to show here. So for this 3 machines and 30 men are required. So I will draw here, because after 7 days this activity 1 to 2 and 1 to 3 both are completed simultaneously, because the duration is same and requirement is 2 plus 2, that is 4, and 20 plus 20, that is 40. So all the available resources are engaged during the completion of these two process activities, and then these 4 machines and 40 men are available. So we can use this out of these 3 machines and 30 men for 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 number of days are 8. So here 7 plus 8, that is equal to 15. So I will show here this. Node 3. So I will show this activity. Now for this 3 machine and 30 men are engaged. Now I will complete the activity 1 to 3. Now here for 1 to 3 we have to show 2 machines and 20 men. Now we will move next. So next is activity 2 to 3 is complete. Now 2 to 4. Now for this activity 2 to 4, 4 machines and 30 men are required. But if we observe here, 3 machines are already engaged, so only 1 machine remaining, and here only 10 manpower is remaining. So we cannot start this activity 2 to 4 until this activity 2 to 3 is getting completed. So at the day of 15th, this activity is getting completed. So I will mark here this point. So at this point this 2 to 3 is getting completed, and then only we can start this process 2 to 4. Now remember, this 2 to 4 activity is started from this node 2. So we have to complete this activity first before this 3 to 6. So here is the sequence of the activity, that is 1 to 2, then we have to complete 1 to 3, then 2 to 3, and then 2 to 4. So this is important point. So after 2 to 3, because this is started from this node 2, we have to complete this 2 to 4 activity. So at this point, at the day 15, this 2 to 3 is completed, and then only I will start this activity 2 to 4. So here we have to take, so how many days are required for 2 to 4? That is 6 days. So 15 plus 6, that is 21. So I will mark here one point at 21, and here we have to show node 4. And now I will show this activity, that is 2 to 4, that is here we have to show with straight line, because at the from this 15th to 21. So I will write here resources 4 and 30. Now we have to join this with node 2. So how to join? With the help of the dash line, because this activity is not getting started up to this day 15th. when the activity 2 to 3 and 2 to 4 is getting completed, then we have to start for 3 to 6 activity. Now for this 3 to 6, 9 days are required. But the machines and man available after the day 21, because here all the 4 machines and 30 manpower is engaged. So I will mark here because 3 to 6 is the critical path activity. So at the day 21 I will mark here at the center line. Now after that only we will complete this 3 to 6. So for 3 to 6 there are 9 days required. So after day 21 we have to add the 9 days, that is 21 plus 9, that is 30. So we have to extend this duration, that is 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. So here is the 30. So I will mark the point and we will connect these lines. Now here is the node 6 at the day 30. We have to show here. Now for this 3 to 6, because from after this day 21 we have to start this activity. So before this we have to draw the dotted line. We have to show arrow also. Now for this activity 3 to 6, 2 machines and 20 men are required. Now we will move next, because this activity started from this node 3. Now after that node 4 is there. So which activity started, that is 4 to 5. So for this 4 to 5, 2 machines and 20 man is required. So here after engaging in the activity 3 to 6, 2 and 20, remaining machines and man are 2 and 20. So we can complete this activity 4, 5 simultaneously with 3 to 6. So for this 4 to 5, 3 days are required. So after 21 plus 3, that is 22, 23, 24. So here I will draw the node 5. So here 2 and 20. Then after that for this 5 to 6 also 2 machines and 20 manpower is required, and for 5 to 6 5 days are there. So we can complete this simultaneously. So after this 24 there are for 5 to 6 5 days. So 24 plus 5, that is equal to 29. So I will take here the point. So we have to join 5 and 6. So we will complete this project or complete this activity at the day of 29, and after that we have to draw the dotted line. And we have to show the resources also, that is for 5 to 6, 2 and 20. With reference to this diagram, we have to prepare the resource allocation table. In this, we have to mention duration, machine and man. Now, if we observe, here is the first duration is from 0 to 7 days. So, I will mention here 0 to 7 days. Now, 2 activities are completed, 1 to 2 and then 1 to 3. So, for these 2 activities, because 2 straight lines are mentioned here, 4 machines and 40 mans are engaged. So I will write here 4 and 40. Now we will take the next duration. So after 7, here is the day 8 up to day 15. So I will write here 8 to 15. So if we observe for this duration 8 to 15, here is the dotted line and here is also the dotted line. So only 2 to 3 activity is completed, and for this 3 machine and 30 men are engaged. Now we will take the next duration, that is 16 to 21. So after the day 16 to 21, if we observe only one straight line, that is for activity 2 to 4 is completed, and for that 4 machines are engaged and 30 men. Then we will move next after 21 to 24. So for this 21 to 24, if we observe, this activity 4 to 5 is completed and simultaneously this 3 to 6 is also completed, and it requires the 2 plus 2, that is 4, and here 40 manpower. So 21 to 24. Sorry, 22 to 24, here this total 4 machines and 40 manpower is required. Now we will take the next, that is 5 to 6. So for this 5 to 6, what is the duration? 25 to 29. So here for the day of 25 to 29, here if we observe, this process 5 to 6 is completed and simultaneously 3 to 6 is also there. So for these two activities, 4 machines and 40 mans are engaged. And then at the day 30, if we observe this, at the day 29, this 5 to 6 process is completed. So only one activity is there, that is process 3 to 6, that is activity 3 to 6 is there, and that requires the 2 machines and 20 men. So on the day 30, only 2 machines and 20 men are engaged. So this is the resource allocation table. Now there is the one question, what is the optimum duration for the completion of project? Because this is the question of resource leveling, we have extended the project duration. So here the optimum duration for the completion of project is equal to 30 days.